tonight, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office is one deputy short after firing an employee accused of lying to a grand jury. We obtained the termination letter today sent in October to investigator Nicholas Denny. He allegedly lied to get a former co-worker indicted. We reported on that case back in 2023. The sheriff wrote that Denny's false statements to the grand jury were either willfully misleading or negligent. Maggie Fitzgerald joins us in studio to tell us how Bibb County officials are moving forward following his termination.
That's right, Lori. State records show Nicholas Denny worked for the Bibb Sheriff's Office for 14 years, starting as a jailer. And according to District Attorney Anita Howard, her office has identified more than 100 cases involving Denny so far. But 2 specific cases may determine how officials could prosecute cases after his termination.
This is the first time that my office has done an internal investigation where it rose to that level.
An investigation that determined former Bibb investigator Nicholas Denny falsely testified to a grand jury in an October 2023 case involving a co-worker. DA Anita Howard says her assistant DA noticed discrepancies that did not align with other evidence.
I turned everything over to Sheriff Davis with a letter from me about my position. What we had learned during the investigation.
It wasn't until a year later when Sheriff David Davis fired Denny. But prior to that termination, 2 separate civil lawsuits have already come to light.
A blatant violation of somebody's constitutional rights.
That's how attorney Charles Cox describes Denny's conduct toward his clients. The first, Roderick Jordan, who filed in September. He's seeking damages from Denny after he made false statements to secure a search warrant for Jordan's home. The lawsuit says Denny let deputies continue with the search before the warrant was ever issued. But the second, former Deputy Kendrell Danley, is against both Denny and Sheriff David Davis.
He wasn't terminated until after these lawsuits were filed, even though the sheriff was aware of Mr. Denny's conduct. But it took the lawsuits before that was addressed.
Meanwhile, DA Howard says they will no longer prosecute any cases like Danley's that lack any evidence other than Denny's testimony.
If that is the only testimony that we have and his testimony cannot be corroborated, I don't believe that that is fair or accurate justice.
And Cox says the DA was proactive in addressing Denny's conduct. Howard dropped that charge against Danley, and she confirmed with me today they have closed 40 cases that Denny has been involved with so far, some ending in guilty pleas and others being dismissed. Back to you.
Thank you, Maggie. The DA's office says they're continuing to work through the remaining 60 cases and deciding how to proceed.